Hey YouTube, so this is 10 tips to improve battery life on Windows 10. Let's jump right in. First one is screen brightness. So if you go to the bottom right hand corner of your screen, you'll see the screen brightness right here. Now, lowering this can save you a lot of battery life. I usually personally like mine at 22%. Because I find not only does it save a lot of battery life, but it's a lot easier on my eyes. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna keep it nice and bright at 70. But I mean, lowering the screen brightness to a comfortable level where you can still see the picture is gonna save you a ton of battery life because it costs so much energy for the computer to increase the brightness through the screen. Number two is going to be the Windows power mode. So if you click here on the battery, you're going to see right now I'm plugged in. So I have 3 different power modes. Now if I unplug the power from the computer, this is going to switch to 4 different power modes. So decreasing these power modes based on what you're doing or increasing it, I mean obviously decreasing it is going to save you battery. So I mean if you can decrease it to, you know, a mode like this one where from the 4 different ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th one here is gonna, or sorry, rather the 2nd one here is gonna give you a way better battery life. And you can see here 4 hours and 30 minutes remaining based on what I'm currently doing, but I'm running a lot of software. I'm running Camtasia in order to make this video. So number 2 is gonna be the Windows power mode. So just adjusting this can save you a ton of battery power. Number 3 is going to be dark mode. So if you right click on your desktop and go to personalize and then click here colors, you're going to see different power modes. So yours might be right now by default set to the light mode, which is going to cost the computer a ton of energy because it costs so much energy to display a white pixel versus a dark pixel. So I mean just the difference of switching from light mode to dark mode, if you're okay with using your computer in dark mode, it's going to save you a ton of battery life down the road and while using it as well. And also it's a little bit easier on the eyes as well. Number 4 is going to be battery saver mode. So if I click here in the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to see different options here. Okay, here's the battery saver. Now, one way I can get to the battery saver mode is if I click the power right here and then just move this all the way to the left, which is going to say better battery. Now, I plugged back in, but if I'm unplugged, I get that extra level where I could go down and I go right to the left, which is battery saver mode. So this is going to dim the display. It's going to, I wouldn't say bottleneck the CPU, but it's going to kind of tone down the energy consumption for a lot of things internally inside the computer and just give you an all-around better battery life. So depending on what you're doing, you might notice a slight decrease in performance, but I mean, for the average user, you might not, depending on what you're doing. If you're just browsing the internet, you might not notice a performance decrease at all. So I have this setting set right here. If I plug back in, it's gonna go, I'm gonna put it back to the best performance for the sake of this tutorial. Now, number 5 is gonna be Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So, I mean, a lot of us are not gonna ever really be able to disable our Wi-Fi because most of the time what we're using the computer for includes Wi-Fi, includes internet access. But Bluetooth, like right here turned on, I have nothing connected to Bluetooth right now. So having it turned on is actually using a lot of battery power. So I mean, I can go ahead and deactivate Bluetooth and not have to worry about Bluetooth using energy if I don't have a Bluetooth device connected. So that's another really good battery saving tip. Number 6 is going to be background apps. So if you push the start key and start typing background, you'll see background apps come up. You can click here. Now all these different apps while I'm using the computer are actually running. So I mean, if I just toggle this one switch right here, I can basically stop apps from running in the background and using valuable system resource which costs battery life. So I mean, this is a really good feature to try if you're experiencing battery issues and you want to get way more battery life. This is definitely a powerful tip to use. Number 7 is going to be startup apps. So if I right click the taskbar and click here, Task Manager, I'm going to get Task Manager is going to come up, and then I'm going to go to Startup. Now, if I look through, I have it now sorted that it's basically from the ones that are enabled versus the ones that are disabled. So I mean, if I go through this list and I look through these different apps, all these apps that say enabled are basically starting up with the computer. So if I don't need some of these to start up with the computer, I can go ahead and deactivate them. So like, let's say for instance, Microsoft Edge, I don't need this one starting up with the computer. I'd rather Microsoft Edge just starts up when I click Microsoft Edge, so I can go ahead and disable it. Now I can look through some of these other ones, like these services for Nuance. I mean, I really don't need these starting up with the computer, so I can go ahead and disable them. And I mean, as many as you can disable comfortably is going to save you a ton of battery life, because rather than them starting up automatically when the computer's starting up, you can just disable them, and then when you click them or initialize them, they'll start up. So it's not like you're losing any functionality, you're just minusing something starting up with the computer that you might not be using during that session. So this one's a really good one to keep in mind, startup apps. Number 8 is going to be sleep mode, and more specifically the sleep mode timer. So if I push the start button and start typing in power, I'm going to get this one, power and sleep settings. So I'm going to click here. Now, if I can, by default, these numbers are usually higher, but I've already kind of tuned this. If I can decrease this to the least amount of time. So if you look here, on battery power, the screen is going to turn off after 5 minutes of not using the computer. So if I walk away from the computer, the screen will turn off after 5 minutes. Now, the computer will go to sleep in terms of sleep after 10 minutes. Now, if the screen's already off, why do I need the computer to stay on an extra 5 minutes? So I can actually decrease this to 5 minutes, which is going to, in the long run, save me a ton of battery life, because you know, life's happening. We're working on the computer. A lot of us are working from home. Let's say a call comes in, I take a call, I walk away from the computer. That extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long that the computer screen and the computer itself stays on is going to add up and use valuable battery life that I may need for something else. So I mean, getting these numbers as low as you can is going to definitely save you a ton of battery life moving forward, added up over time. Number 9 is going to be adjusting the computer for best performance. So basically deactivating things like effects, visual effects, animations, things that are happening in the computer to kind of make the transitions of the computer look a little bit smoother. So how we're going to do this, open up File Explorer, right click this PC, and click Properties. Now we're going to scroll down and go to Advanced System Settings. Now, usually in this one, Advanced, sometimes Remote will pop up, but just make sure you're on the Advanced tab, and we're going to click Settings. Now, we could just select this one, Adjust for Best Performance, but then this is going to turn off all the, I would say, you know, visual aspects of Windows that make it pleasant to look at. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to necessarily turn off everything, but certain things, I mean, here we kind of won't really miss. Like in my own personal opinion, usually what I disable is slide open combo boxes, and then I'll head over here and I'll say, let's say fade out menu items, deactivate this one, this one, this one, and then these two. Now this is going to give me, in my opinion, a faster, more responsive Windows, and I'm not going to be missing out. Like, you know, I can still see here the text okay when I highlight over. I'm not getting rid of things that are going to decrease my experience with Windows, but I'm just turning off some of the frills that do cost energy, cost battery life. So, I mean, it's up to you. You can go through these settings and see which ones you can live with and which ones you can live without, and just adjust them accordingly. The 10th one is going to be to check your battery health. And if your battery health is below a certain point, it's recommended to change your battery. So the way that we're going to do that is we are going to open up Microsoft Edge or any internet browser and head over to Google, and then we're going to type in battery info view and hit enter. Now the first one that comes up, nearsoft.net, we're going to click on this one. Now we're going to scroll down until we see download battery info view, and we're going to download it. Now once it's downloaded, we're going to close Edge, open up Explorer, head over to downloads, and then it downloaded a zip file, so we're going to extract this zip file. I like 7-zip, but you can use any file extractor. And then we're going to open up battery info view, and then we're going to double click battery info view and run the program. Now this is going to show your battery health based on what the design capacity of your battery is versus what the current full charge capacity is. So my battery health right now on this Dell Latitude 7490 is 95%. So I'm good. I'm okay for, in terms of the battery's ability to hold a charge is very strong right now. Now, if this number, if you happen to run this program and you see that this number is below 60%, I would highly recommend looking into getting your battery changed. And if at all possible, always change your battery with the genuine original manufactured battery. I can't stress this enough. If your computer is an HP, get the original genuine HP battery. If it's a Dell, get the Dell genuine battery. The aftermarket replica batteries, not only do they not go the distance in comparison to the genuine batteries, but sometimes the power delivery from those batteries is not exactly what it needs to be in order to support all the internal hardware in the computer. So you can actually hurt your computer by using a cheaper aftermarket battery that doesn't supply the computer with the correct type and amount of power that it needs with volts and amps when it comes to the battery being powered. So yeah, that's 10 tips to improve your battery health, battery life in Windows 10. Hope you guys found value. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more tech-related videos to come in the future. We're only getting better. We're only improving every video as it goes on, and really appreciate all the support. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.